Okay, this is the first flipped classroom of the year. Set to introduce our short story unit that will begin on Monday, September 21st. And we'll begin with a very quick review of some basic literary elements before focusing on theme. Oh, look at that. It's a plot. A, B, C, D, E. A is called what? What? Exposition. And E is called what? Denouement. That's right. Parts of the plot we do. Exposition. You could call it the beginning, but that's not the language that we use for literary analysis. The word is exposition. We do a rising action and climax. Um, the plot concludes with denouement. It's a French word. It means ending. Conflict obviously drives all fiction, all narratives. Usually they're external and internal, and that's the way they're traditionally broken down. Characterization, the way authors inform us readers of who the characters are. Occasionally it's direct, but most often it's through indirect means that require careful readers to make deductions, to make inferences, to put 3 and 7 together to get 10 and understand who a character is. Just doing a little math there. A few slides on character types, just to make sure we're clear. This is the language that we should use in discussion and certainly in any kind of formal essay. We don't talk about the main character, but the protagonist. There's always going to be an antagonist, although it doesn't necessarily have to be a person. A few more terms, character types. We got round characters, flat characters, and stock characters. That's language that I think you should have heard before, and it's the kind of language we use to describe characters we'll meet in the stories and other literature we read. A few more character types. The dynamic is the one that changes significantly. Almost all protagonists are dynamic. Static characters don't change. Occasionally you'll get an antagonist that's just evil. And then the foils, based upon the rapiers used in fencing, but a foil is a character who, through contrast, points up the qualities or characteristics of another. You've got a little visual clue of what kind of foil is. Theme is what this flipped classroom is all about, though. Here's two jokes. Daddy, the man next door kisses his wife every morning when he leaves for work. Why don't you do that? Are you kidding? I don't even know the woman. And secondly, daughter, your young male friend stays until a very late hour. Hasn't your mother said anything to you about this behavior? Yes, father, she says, men haven't altered a bit. So each of these jokes depends upon a reversal. The first joke is simply reversal instead of what we expect. Instead of saying why he doesn't kiss his wife, he says why he doesn't kiss the man next door's wife. The second one, however, we can say there's a theme to that joke. There's an idea within there. There's some truth that is being expressed. Perhaps it is something that as people grow older, they tend to become more conservative, or perhaps it is parents frequently criticize children for things that they did themselves when they were younger. Whatever it is, that truth is a theme of the joke. So, theme, piece of fiction, controlling idea. And it answers both of these questions, or one. What view of life does the text support? What insight into life does the text reveal? So, a couple of principles I'd like us to keep in mind as we discuss theme. First, don't equate topic with theme. To explain, consider the hypothetical topics: parenthood, loyalty. Other ones could be nature, love, war, anything. Themes drawn from these hypothetical topics would answer the question, what does the story reveal about the topic? So if you have a love poem, you can't say the theme is love. That's just a topic or a subject that it's exploring. Answer the question, what does it say about love? Then you're moving to theme. So in that similar way, a theme shouldn't be expressed as a single word. It really should be expressed as a sentence. It wouldn't make sense, or it would not be a complete understanding of the word theme to say the theme of To Kill a Mockingbird is racism. No, racism is presented and explored. What does it say about racism? And you wouldn't want to say something as simple-minded as racism is bad. You got to raise the bar a little bit. Here's another principle. I call it the Goldilocks principle, and there's a little image of Goldilocks. You want to make sure that your statement theme is a generalization about life, but it can't be so large that it's attempting a universal. It really shouldn't. It can't be so narrow, though, that it could only really be justified in that one story. You try to shoot for not too narrow, not too broad, just right. The Goldilocks. Shoot for that in expression of theme. A third a third principle in stating themes: avoid cliches like the plague. No, of course, you want to express original thought. Moving on. Earlier I said there's no real precise way to theme, but 4 strategies we'll be employing this week are: 1. Sometimes we can best get at theme by asking, in what ways has the protagonist changed in the course of the story? And what, if anything, has the character come to understand? By answering that question, you can begin moving towards what is the theme of the story. Another strategy effective at discovering or constructing theme is to explore the nature of the central conflict and its outcome. If you see how those work, you're going to be moving towards an expression of theme. A third strategy, sometimes interpreting the range of meanings of the title will provide important clues to the theme. Don't overlook the title. Please don't overlook the title. Title is very often an important integral part of understanding a literary or fictional text, whether it's a story or a poem. And the last one, which I'll express in 2 ways, is sometimes trying to identify the questions that the text seems to ask is a valuable strategy at getting at theme. We're not going to be reading too many texts this year that provide answers. More often than not, they'll be posing questions that we as readers are invited to answer. However, a more concrete way to express that 4th strategy is sometimes accomplished by identifying a topic that the text addresses and then asking, what does the text say about said topic? That relates back to our principle number 1, don't confuse theme and topic. Okay, that's it. Thank you very much. See you on Monday.